Okay, this is the Singer Model 404, and in my opinion it is one of those gems that oftentimes is forgotten as far as the greatest machines that Singer ever made. I like it because it's a slant needle machine, which gives you a huge amount of visibility down at the needle. I also love it because it has a 0.75 amp motor in it that peaks out at almost an amp, which means you've got unbelievable power. But let's go ahead and start on the bottom right hand side of the machine, and I'll kind of walk you through this great 404. Normally we would focus on the bobbin winding, but I am so intrigued by how this throat plate can be adjusted for freehand embroidery. I've got to show you that first. This is obviously a control right here. Right now the throat plate is all the way in the down position. If the camera is able to get a shot over near the needle area, if I move it into the up position, you can see that that throat plate rises so that you no longer have those feed dogs engaged. You also can push it all the way up, and it allows you to unlock this plate, so if you need to remove it to clean underneath there or for any other reason, you can do that as well. And just as easily you can move it all the way back down so that those are engaged again. Also, I'll show you when we move around the machine, it has a wonderful drop-in bobbin that we'll look at a little bit later. Alright, follow me back over to the right side of the machine. You can see obviously we have a spool pin right here. That's for placing that thread on for bobbin winding. You'd place your thread right here, come through this single guide, and then up here to the bobbin winding tire. You'd place your bobbin here and then simply engage that to the hand wheel. And just for fun, I'm gonna step on the foot control and let you see the bobbin winding tire move as if we were actually winding a bobbin, but also listen to that motor. I can't emphasize enough, I've sewn on practically every Singer that you could name, and the power output on this 404 is impressive. Wait until you see it in the sew-offs. Once you're done winding that bobbin, and you can simply move this back down manually, or you'll see this little guard point right here. As that bobbin fills, depending on how this is adjusted, we have it adjusted right now so it actually will to some degree push that bobbin away from the hand wheel. But again, you might want to just manually rotate it back down, get it completely out of the way once you're done winding. Follow me over here to the left, and you can see this is our control center, obviously for stitch length. The stitch length variation on this 404 is as good as it gets, anywhere from 6 stitches per inch all the way down to 30 stitches per inch. You can see the marker here indicates 20, but if you move it a little bit further up into that fine area, you're going to be able to hit real close to that 30 stitches per inch. And then obviously if you move this all the way up, you can easily sew in reverse and then simply bring it back down when you're done sewing. Also, you can screw this in or out so you can lock it into place and not have any possibility of that stitch length varying in any way. Let me show you a sample applique that we did on this 404 that I think really illustrates the creative side of what this amazing machine can do. Also towards the middle here, look at the control and the turning ability of this 404. And also you'll notice in the middle section of this applique, we're really close to that 30 stitches per inch in the fine setting on that stitch length control. And as you move out towards the border areas and the framing of this applique, you'll see we're a lot closer to that 6 to 7 stitches per inch. But the final product speaks for itself. It's just a very, very cool applique with kind of an Easter theme to it, with the rabbits playfully interacting with each other. And you can generate something just as cool as this with a quality machine like this 404. Also, as with all of our machines, we love to include an owner's manual. This instruction manual, and you can see the previous owner, all of our machines are single owner machines. The original owner of this machine wrote some notes to herself on the manual, as I'm sure a lot of owners do. But this manual really serves two purposes. It's going to allow you to maintain this machine. Now when you get it, don't even worry about that, because we spend on average 6 to 8 hours on every single machine, servicing it, timing it, conditioning it, cleaning it inside and out, and just making sure that everything is as close to a restorative state of being factory new as we possibly can get it. So when you get it, just have fun with it. But as that routine maintenance comes due, this manual will guide you through the very, very simple steps of keeping this machine running at that optimal level. And this machine, I can't say it enough, unbelievably powerful, but also very, very easy to maintain. It also will guide you through maximizing this machine. Now again, this is probably one of the simplest, straightforward Singers that Singer ever made, the 404, but it also will guide you through how to use different attachments. We're going to be including a number of attachments with this machine, including this very cool walking foot roller type attachment that'll allow you to sew through the heaviest materials, keep them nice and flat, and not have any distortion of stitches. This is only one of the attachments that will be included with this 404, but it'll guide you on how to use those various attachments and just have fun with the machine. Again, it's very, very simple to operate, very straightforward, but if any questions arise, it's there at your disposal. All right, follow me from here up to the top of the machine. You're going to see we have one spool pin. This spool pin would tell you that it's a straight stitch machine, but again, with needle technology, you're able to do dual needle type sewing with an over-under type needle or an oversized needle, and just use an auxiliary source of feeding that second thread. Follow me from right to left, and you'll see that threading this 404 is very simple. We've got a single guide right here, a thread guide, coming down through the tension control area, up to the arm, down through another thread guide, and then all the way down to the presser foot. Now look at the clearance underneath that presser foot. I've got my finger all the way underneath that presser foot. So if you're looking to do multiple layers of quilt batting or whatever you're looking to sew, the clearance is about as good as it gets with this 404. Also, like I said earlier in the video, look at that wonderful drop-in bobbin. If you're looking to change out threads, or if you're concerned that your thread is starting to run low, it takes a matter of seconds to pop a bobbin back in and get back to your project sewing. Now, if this isn't enough to give you an incentive to bid on this amazing gem of a machine, let me show you a couple of bonuses that we're going to include with this 404. You're going to have your choice of one of these three watches. Be patient with me for a second, because I'm trying to get them orientated so I can show them all three at the same time if possible. These are all wonderful, wonderful Fossil watches. They're from the Blue series of Fossil, if you're familiar with Fossil watches. Let me get this other one turned around. There we go, finally. They are just gorgeous, gorgeous men's watches. Whoever wins this amazing 404 can have their pick of one of these three watches. And if the winner is really, really anxious, and maybe even a number of our buyers and repeat buyers collect watches as well, because watches, like sewing machines, are precision instruments. So if the winner makes their selection and wants to get the other two as well, we can work something out in that respect. Otherwise, you'll have your pick of one of these three gorgeous watches, and these Fossil watches all keep perfect time. The one on the far left is a Fossil steel that is a diving watch. You can go up to 330 feet. The other Fossil watches, including this chronograph in the middle, have a diving depth of 165 feet. So maybe you're not even into diving, but some of our buyers have expressed that in the past when we've given bonuses like watches. So just so you have that as extra information. And there's more detailed information in the description under bonus as well, providing serial numbers and such. So I wish you all the best in bidding on this amazing 404, and make it a point to check out our other videos as well, where you can see the power of this machine from a heavy duty standpoint.